addition to it, that's for damn sure. Now, it wouldn't be a Tuesday if we didn't take a look at what it is that we've got inside of the store, and as we can see right here, we have got the Sand Walker set. Now, the bundle pricing for this is 1,300 Raider tokens. A nice little amount, actually, for you guys to be able to put into this, as this skin looks absolutely incredible. We're going to have the emote of Boo, which is actually hilarious. I really enjoy this one. You can get hold of that for 400 Raider tokens separately. We have got the blue forehead paint, which looks very strange, but again, I'm sure somebody will like it, for 400 Raider tokens separately. And then we have got the Sand Walker skin. Now, there are a couple of different variations in color that we can get for this. We've obviously got the blue variation, the beige variation, and my favorite, the black variation. This one looks really, really cool and is probably one of my favorite skins at the moment. I think that the plate on the chest just looks absolutely incredible. Now, on top of that, we have got different variations that you can take on and off in terms of the clothing. We've got the bag that you can take off, the gas mask comes off, so do the goggles, and the radio, and even the scarf if you so wish. Overall, it's actually a really, really cool piece, and I think it's definitely something that you guys are going to enjoy. So let me know via the comments if this is a skin that you guys are wanting to get your hands on. I think it just works, man. I don't know why, but it just looks very cool. On top of that, we have also now got the Alpine Rescue set, which is a harvesting tool set that you guys are going to be able to have. Your Raider tool right here for the Snowy Mountain Pickaxe. A very nice little piece, and this one is a bundle package of 700 Raider tokens, or 500 just for the Raider tool. We're also going to have a backpack attachment for the Snow Rescue Kit. Very cool little item. And the Road Flare Backpack Charm. This is probably one of the coolest ones. It's got a little ball that just jingle jangles on the bottom of your bag. Very nice indeed for a 700 bundle pricing. Now, as additional bit of information, they've now actually removed the guitar puzzle from Buried City, and you can now purchase a single guitar every single day from Shani. It's a nice little move, that's for sure. Being able to go in and utilize those for 70 creds is pretty cool. It's a small little detail. I actually quite enjoyed the puzzle, so it's a shame it's been taken out, but it is now definitely fully unlockable. And as we all saw coming, we obviously know that the solo versus squad is now in the bottom right corner. You can now switch it on and switch it off, depending on obviously whether you're in a group of 1 or a group of 3. You can now obviously fill out your squad easily because you have got different options for open play, so that people can just join in with you if you are on their friends list. And there is a few more additionals to that one as well, which is working out to be quite cool, because we've also got the squad invites, where they've added the option for squad mates to invite other players as well as the party leader, so it kind of makes things a little bit more seamless and a little bit more open. But getting into the nitty-gritty, there is a load of details, as the patch notes for this was also released this morning, where they've changed up a load of new stuff. We've got the Stellamontis Seed Vault Extract fix, which has now obviously been approved, as well as the achievement fixes that a lot of you guys have been wanting for a while. They've got the mouse smoothing option that's been added, and the gamepad rebinding. Overall, the patch highlights actually look quite good, and I'm really glad that they've finally started issuing out some of these changes. It seems that that is just the beginning, though, as this patch list was absolutely ginormous. So we're just going to dive into it and show you guys exactly the biggest points, so that you guys obviously can go into this fully prepared. In terms of the content bug fixes, like we stated, they have fixed some achievements, mainly towards Enemy of My Enemy achievement, and also an issue causing hook, line, and sinker achievement not to track correctly. They are both fixed. In terms of the arc, though, my lord, they have fixed a few things and changed a few issues. The arc traversing obstacles has been improved, and especially with the leaper, it will now walk better when it loses a leg. The shredder is now properly labeled as a scavengeable item when pinged, and the snitch will no longer make noise after they are destroyed, but they also fixed an issue where the snitches would abort cooling down arc if players threw a lore grenade down during the call. A very hilarious one that I didn't know actually worked, but it's definitely a thing. The spotter now has the issue fixed where spotters would follow players into buildings and get stuck, so they are now fixed, as well as the tick. When grabbed by the tick, players will now have a brief window of time where they can dodge roll to remove the tick rather than having to just manually pull it off. Nice little piece indeed. Without getting into too much detail, they fixed an array of audio issues where emotes were missing voice lines, and they've also improved the voice chat connection. So for a game like this, that's actually really important, so I'm glad they've done that. In terms of the maps, though, the types of containers that can spawn condition-specific blueprints that have been lowered during the electromagnetic storm, hidden bunker, and lock gate. Essentially meaning things like the volcano and the bobcat have now been lowered dramatically, meaning that it's probably a lot harder to find them now. They've raised the chances of finding higher tier weapons in weapon cases, which is absolutely ginormous and something that I am so damn here for. I think that's a big one. They've slightly lowered the chances of finding the matriarch and queen unique parts in their armor pieces to make it a bit harder to get them without destroying them completely. They've also fixed multiple containers across all of the map that were not interactable, and they've fixed a radar hatch timing bug and camera getting stuck when the interaction fails. Some real brief changes with Dam Battlegrounds though. They've essentially fixed a load of collision spots, which would obviously make it a little bit hard and being able to get stuck inside of certain areas inside of Dam Battlegrounds, and also a unintended location that you guys could reach via the water treatment has now been patched up as well. Buried City, they made some changes where there was an issue that you could see an invisible wall in the nook beneath the Buried City highway, and obviously the musical puzzle for the guitar has now obviously been scrapped as well, but we've already gone over that. And then with Spaceport and Stellamontis, there are a few fixes that you can see on screen. Nothing of any substantial ability, but the Seed Vault extraction glitch has now been fixed, and they've turned the lights off a bit more in the night raid for Stellamontis. They've got a lot of miscellaneous fixes in here, though. One of the biggest ones for it is that they've added a matchmaking delay option for stream sniping mitigation. I actually quite like that. I think it's quite good for some of us who do stream on the platforms. Other than that, there's just a lot of clipping changes and some things that weren't completely correct with some of the skins they've rectified in-game as well, but overall, nothing too important. They've made some minor UI changes. Again, nothing of anything that's going to really give you guys too much of an advantage or any sort of big change, but they've now given you the tab to change it inside of your options menu, which allows you to free rebind some of your like game pads and stuff like that. Very cool details indeed, as well as like a new display that will be shown when a friend joins the party of a player that is already topside. There's some cool little UI changes, but again, nothing too drastic. Inside of utility, there was a known issue where when two players were using a defibrillator at the same time, it would revive a down player with full HP. That's no longer a thing. They've obviously rectified that one. And then inside of the quests, they have added additional interactions to the final objective for the groundbreaking quest. The biggest one, though, is the anti-cheat. This one is a huge one because a 3 strikes progressive player ban is now in process of being implemented, which means that bans will progress from 30 days to 60 days and then a permaban for repeat offenders. So essentially, 3 strikes you out. I think that it was kind of a bit of an obvious one that was going to be happening, but that has now been implemented in place as well. Overall, a absolutely ginormous update and loads to take a look at and just genuinely enjoy over the rest of your week. Hopefully it is something that you do enjoy. We are yet to wait on the birds coming into Buried City. If anything goes by the way that it has been previously, there were a decent amount of hours before they actually dropped Cold Snap, so we'll see how it is that that plays out and when exactly it is that it will drop. But you will be able to find that on the small icon on your map. And some of the icons that will have changed, as the matriarch icon does seem to have changed a little bit. So you obviously see that sort of icon like you do here, but on the Buried City, and it will have likely to be like a little bird icon around it as well, meaning that you'll have that minor map condition then active. Overall, an incredible update. A massive shout out to Embat because you've done an incredible job and I can't wait to dive on in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Enjoy the video. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys later on with some more news coming in from Arc Raiders. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.
Hey, okay. Let's get a controller. Take a blinker for the homies.
So, you returned without results, again.
I'd say come get them. Kids around here have been kicking empty grenade casings around. It's only a matter of time before they're not so empty. So here's the plan. You help me with some prep work, and I'll set up some kiosks in buried city stock football matches. And there's supposed to be some makeshift goals near the dam.
People sheltered in those camps back then used the outposts to send messages and keep an eye on the ARC movements. Nothing like now.
Is this the game music? Rockin' hardcore today. All right. Computer's running cool. You're running hot. Let's see what we can do on a free loadout. Don't know why my camera's acting up today, but
This is Apollo. See if you can get me what I need to set up a proper football league down here. I can't wait to learn how to perform a proper red card.
god damn, we only have 100. No, okay. Oh, perfect. Go straight. Is this a thing right up here? Oh, you gotta walk all the way down there. What's that? Roots. Roots. I've never seen that before. Okay. So where's the damn thing? Don't tell me it's gonna be there. It's gotta be in this little fucking area here. Got generators all over the place, so where would that fucking thing be? It's gonna be in there, you know it. Alright. Hey, enough.
Where is it? There it is.
Enough. Shit, yeah, you got me fucked up, son. Ah! Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Come on. Something good, something good, something good. Oh, I hate you. I hate you so much. Take the Seekers. God damn it. Come on, come on. All right, let's rock. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Come on, hustle. Yeah, all right. Something good, something good, something good. You fucks. Why? I hate you people. Alright. Let's head home. Hey! Hey, you. Hey. Is my mic not on? Hey! There, my mic's on. I ain't shooting people. I'm not shooting anybody.
Hey, that's...
Nope. Oh, get the spider. Get him. Get that spider. Yeah. Me too, man. Me too. Did this mic? I am not sure anymore. Ah. Alright. Go home. Run away!
Hey, that.
Hey, what's up?
Sorry.
Not much. Hanging out. Smoking a little weed.
Hang
You know.
around. Very nice server, so fucking awesome.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I'm not from the US.
Oh, really? Where are you from?
From France first.
Oh, parlez-vous français?
Bien sûr.
Oui, oui. Oh, shit. Excellent.
Love you, bro.
I don't know much French. I know more Italian than French.
Bad words.
Yeah, she knew. Good sweet.
She seemed nice. Gotta watch out for the ladies.
Come on, camera. What is happening to this camera? It's really pissing me off. You're gonna make me buy a camera, aren't you? Aren't you? Oh.
If you're here to buy, fine. Just don't loiter. I've got arc signals to monitor.
Sorry, busy day. Thanks, Reader. Enjoy that. Hello again.
You better have coin, Raider. Even if you're the best, you need good gear to make it back in one piece after a raid.
There's no. Okay, relax.
Let's move to that location.
Hello? If anyone can hear me, an electromagnetic storm is currently raging over topside. Beware the lightning strikes if you're outdoors.
feels good. Hey man, you don't have to have a
I see. Just
Against the law. Call the cops. Call the cops. Call the cops. Call the police. Call the police. That was assault. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Children. I didn't have you to interact with you. Alright, Ann. Take your tablet and your loud stuff away from my office. There's no reason for you to claim that loud next to me. Whatsoever. Hey. Why? Ant, put your pants on.
Have you ever noticed those streaks of light darting across the skies? I've seen too much to believe they're natural, but it'll take more than a hunch to convince Celeste. Whatever you're doing out there, it's not what I asked for.
Instagram. What are you doing to me, bro? Got all these followers, but no one fucking wants to see my live. It's really pissing me off. Well,
Hey, I'm going on a tour of the United Kingdom. If you've ever been interested in that big question of God's existence or tried
existence. Oh my God, he doesn't speak to me. Oh, how do you know? Shut up. Shut the hell up. Oh my God. People are so fucking retarded. They're so retarded. Just so retarded. I've never. All right, let's what do we got here? What we got here? Everything's so fucking boring. I can't show shit.
Nice to be here. Austin, fun town. You guys are building a lot of really shitty houses. It looks like a lot of just absolute dog shit apartment buildings. It's really funny. A lot of tech pieces of shit moving in. This is awesome. It was like pretty shitty here before. You know what I mean? Like I came here 6 years ago. I was like, damn, a lot of fucking losers are making this town horrible. And then I'm here 7 years later, just a bunch of guys are like tweeting at Elon Musk all the time. I mean, first of all, those tunnels. Who the fuck are we kidding, right? Even people that like him know that's stupid, right? You all know that, right? You think that's a good idea? What was that about? You're like, okay. You've got the look of a fan. You gotta change. You gotta queer eye yourself a little bit. You do look like an Elon reply guy. I hate to say it. We gotta get you some bright floral prints or something. You know what I mean? It's just something. What do you do, buddy? So get out of here. All right, you're the opposite of that guy. Well, I'm so sorry, dude. You actually doing something good for the world, and I fucking accused you of speculative investing and fake.
Okay.
All I said was, I said it's so funny to watch all these right-wing evangelical people dancing to the Village People.
Yeah.
When the YMCA song is clearly about men bumming in the showers. Now, bumming is a British term for anal sex, right?
Yeah.
And so I stand by that. Like, young man, if you're down on your dough, there's a place. I would even argue that it's not just about men having sex in the shower. I'd say it's about young male prostitution. I would go as far to say that, right? So I said this with the knowledge that everyone since the dawn of time has known that the Village People are gay, right?
They are?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, of course.
They were designed by a bloke. They were the fantasy of all gay strip clubs.
Even as a kid, when I saw them, I go there.
Yeah. They're from Greenwich Village, which is the place where the gay people live. That's why they're called the Village People. They were put together for this whole thing. So Victor Willis, who's the lead singer from the Village People, who is
that the native one or the cop?
He's the cop.
Okay.
He's the cop. Now, he mightn't have known they were all gay. He might not have known because he was out the front. If
he was not gay?
He was married to Mrs. Huxtable, Patrice, whatever, like from the Village, from the Cosby Show.
Wait, what?
He at the height. Yeah, him. He was married to Mrs. Huxtable off the Cosby Show because that woman she knows she has a good eye for good men. And
yeah.
And she was married to. Now he's married to a person called Karen Willis. And Karen Willis sent me and Amos a cease and desist letter that we were going to be sued for defamation for saying that the Village People music had gay overtones.
Isn't that the anthem? I'm so confused.
Yeah. This is the whole thing.
That's insane,
right? So there he was back in the day with Mrs. Huxtable, right?
Yeah.
So we get this cease and desist letter, and then somehow this letter is leaked to TMZ by me. And I'm like, this is too funny, right? So I sent it to the thing. And so Karen has, on the letter, she has a phone number, so I ring her up, right? Now, obviously, you're not allowed to record people against their will and all that sort of stuff, and so there's no footage of this, so I can't. But she said to me, she goes, you can't say that it's a gay song. And I said, I think everyone thinks it's a gay song. I said, I don't think the people dancing to it have any issue with it being. I think Donald Trump's well aware as well. I don't think anyone's going, oh, this is a song about gays.
Yeah.
And I go, and even if it is, I don't think anyone's concerned about this. And she goes, well, we're going to get you for defamation and you'll have to go to court and it'll eat up all this money and blah, 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 blah. And I said, all right, fine. I said, the YMCA isn't about homosexuality. And I said, but Macho Man and In the Navy are as gay as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
you said that?
Yeah, I said it to her.
Wow.
And she went, oh, Macho Man. Yeah. There we go.
Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone did an article on it.
That's a real thing.
Right?
Can't believe
and then she goes, oh, In the Navy's just about blokes joining the Navy.
Wow.
And I said, it has a lyric in there that says, we need more seamen. I said, this is clearly a double entendre.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is clearly. And I said, Macho Man. She goes, that's just about men working out in the gym. And I said, Karen, I said, all right, I can't tell you you're wrong, right? Because you believe what you believe. But I'll tell you something about your husband. He's never written one song that involved a woman in any way. At no stage has there been a... I'll tell you, he's never written a song called Karen.
Wow.
Yeah, he's never written a song called Karen. Wow. It's like at the beginning of Macho Man, it's body, gotta move that body, baby. He never went like, titties. Put my dick in between titties, baby.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? All of it was... It was for disco and it was for people to dance around to.
But did you research that before you even called Karen? I didn't know that information.
Because I started listening to the Village People because the thought that they weren't gay was so preposterous to me. So I just put it on the Spotify in the car.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, man, fucking bangers, those songs.
So many good
They're
ones.
bangers.
Yeah.
Through this whole process, I've become a fan of the Village People.
Yeah.
There's even songs like Do the Milkshake. Does anyone remember Do the Milkshake, the Milkshake, do
No,
the shake?
no, I've never heard that.
The Milkshake, that was like off their movie, You Can't Stop the Music.
Oh, right.
Nobody can stop the music.
Is milkshake slang for cum?
No, Do the Milkshake is when you get home from school and you're a bit bored. It's just like when you get home from school, you got nothing to do. Do the milkshake, do the shake.
Yeah,
right?
When you
do the
right
shake.
now, you
Right
can
where
see
my
the-
daughter
Yeah.
scratched.
Then you come home from school and they want something cold to drink. They also need something good and sweet. Just a glass of milk. It's not very hard to do it. You blend it together, do the shake. It's basically when you get home, just before your parents get home, have a wank.
Yeah. Wow. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Have a wank. And they're like this. I can't believe
something to say, Daddy.
you would say such things.
Now,
Like the
not gonna be
biker from the
cookies.
Village People died
Or ice
from
pops
AIDS.
or any of
right
that.
now,
So if you
I'm
want
not.
food, Daddy will make
Well,
you food.
yeah, no, it happened.
Yeah.
But it happened like.
Well, let me just guess who there's the
Food.
cop,
Grilled cheese.
native, biker. Is there a fireman?
Or chicken
No
nuggets,
fries.
French
Okay,
fries.
let me-
Those are your
You got a
choices.
construction worker.
A construction worker. There's one more,
No
right?
cookies, no ice
We got the
pops.
Indian, the construction worker, the cop, the biker, and we're missing one. The sailor.
The sailor. Oh my God. Wait, cowboy.
There they are. That was during their phase where they were all impersonating Liam Gallagher.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
They're like, said maybe, I don't really want to know.
I don't think there's a seaman. I think it's a cowboy. No.
Well, in that one, he's just an extra cop. He's got like a security guard,
we
but
got-
sometimes you'd have it. There's a cowboy.
Cowboy. Yeah.
But Victor wasn't gay, and the blokes behind him, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure the biker was. Come
So
on,
what
the
happened?
biker was.
What happened with?
If the biker wasn't gay, my gaydar is completely off. I have to go down to Best Buy to get it tuned up.
Yeah.
I want a refund if he's not.
What happened to Karen? What happened to this thing?
Well, she started off as the cowboy, and then over years.
No, when you called her.
No, so me and Karen, I just went, all right, Karen, I'll stop talking about it. Now, obviously, I'm talking about it again now. And then they had Harvey Levin from TMZ, right, who is a gay lawyer, right? He does a podcast. He interviews Victor Willis.
Wow.
And he's just like, come on.
Yeah,
Come on, it's all gay. And then he's like this, no, it's not gay. Because what's happened, the truth of the matter is, they're getting a whole heap of Republican dollars because YMCA went back up through the charts and they were relevant again. So they're selling out their gay fan base.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they're selling out their gay fan base and just going, the fact that the Village People are trying to reinvent themselves.
Yeah, wow, that's what it is. I didn't even thought about that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like you're getting rid of the cop because the police are being defunded.
Yeah.
Anyway,
because Trump basically revitalized their songs, and they're probably making
what I want to do is I want my day in court, and I want to go like this: not guilty.
Yeah.
I don't really understand anymore what the fuck the problem is with this. Is it my internet?
It's over, bro. It's over, Brody. I told you it's here. The turning point, many will not realize, the turning point isn't now. The turning point started with the ICE protests that took place in like LA and all around the country last year. And ever since then, I've been telling you, like, it's going to keep getting worse. Like, this administration's approvals are going to keep going down. They're not going to be able to recover from this because they don't know how to recover from it. They don't have any vision. They don't have any positive vision for a future of this country. They just only have negativity. And Ludwig too, woke is so back. My coworker Ludwig spoke out on this. Hell yeah. I mean, there was an environment of silence. So does Cinna. Cinna's been talking about it, though. It's not new. There's been an environment of silence among streamers in general. And that silence, in my opinion, came from having a lot of this content sphere get dominated by right-wing clippers, dominated by Twitter discourse, clips out of context, and the only like vector for woke politics, the only vector for like normal politics, like normalcy, a demand for a better future was coming from a guy who was like the #1 op on the internet. So a lot of those people saw that and were like, maybe I shouldn't speak out because I don't want to get yelled at in the same way Hassan gets yelled at on a daily basis, and sponsorship deals and stuff like that too. So I think that's what it is. That's what it was. And now it's gotten to such a point where people cannot keep taking it. Right? They can't keep quiet. They're like, this is too much. This is too much. And there's also a lot of confidence that you gain when you realize that you have the numbers. That's why I always say the internet is not real. Okay. The internet is not the real world. And because a lot of people spend a lot of time on the internet, they end up feeling as though the internet is the real world, right? And the internet is very right-wing. It's very, very right-wing. It's very far right, as a matter of fact. So I think that caused a lot of people to just like not come out with their opinions until it got to a point where it was like, this is undeniably cruel. This is completely unacceptable. And that's where we're at. Like, because this is what I kept saying over and over again, right? These are people. There are kind-hearted people. There are woke people, I guess. There are open-minded people out there. They're just not voicing their opinions because they're worried. They're worried that they're going to lose their fans. They're worried that like they're worried that the environment that they're currently in on the internet is how it is, like how they'll lose a big chunk of their audience because like all their audiences are right wing or something. That's not the case.
I was only going to make the video a lot more about that because that's a whole big thing. I said I'd be free after the movie was done if I was able to do that, but given what's happening in the world, especially today,
sounds like the AZL.
There's a lot of times where I feel like there is no good way to go, haha, let me promote this thing in the face of ignoring all the other shit that's going on in the world. Now, I was originally going to make the video a lot more about that.
Mark not shying away from speaking about ICE shooting in Minnesota and saying he didn't want to overshadow it with his own content, just speaks leagues about his character. Wait, what? I don't even understand. What did he say? He just didn't want to like cover it or something, or did he cover it at, I don't know. He's saying he isn't comfortable simply making content and not covering it. Oh yeah. That makes sense. I mean, Markiplier's always been woke.
Ice. Okay, but unironically though, fuck them. Straight up. Hey, fuck them. Yeah, it's fuck them, don't care, and if you don't like that I say that, it's fuck you too. You know what I mean? Hey, it's fuck you too. That is that simple. It's really that easy for me.
I don't buy that bullshit Hassan. For 3 years, we watched children get murked, and all these content creators stay silent. How are we all supposed to forgive them for speaking up? Brother, I'm not saying you should forgive them. I'm just explaining to you that the tide is shifting, and it's a good thing. And also, secondly, ICE is also kidnapping children here in the United States of America. Children are children no matter where they are, okay? Children in Palestine, children in America getting separated from their parents by ICE. They're both bad. So if people are starting to, at the very least, criticize what's happening in their backyards, it's a good start. Now it's pertinent on us to move them further along in their journey, okay? To help them understand that these systems of violence are tied to one another directly. But that's also, this is not unexpected. Also, Cinna's been saying this stuff, so it's not even new for Cinna. But I'm glad that there's a lot of people showing support for content creators who are actually speaking out. That's a good thing, because this is how, at least in this environment, people start realizing that they're not alone. I always experience, when I'm outside, when I'm in the real world, when I go to these protests and I meet you guys in person, one of the things you always tell me is like, I always felt so alone about the way I viewed the world until I encountered your content and I realized that I'm not so alone. There are so many of you that actually come from fairly right-wing neighborhoods, fairly right-wing backgrounds in general, right-wing families, feeling as though you're like completely alone in the dark and that no one understands you. No one sees where you're at, right? No one sees the world in the same way that you do. And then you find a sense of purpose in a community here where you're like, no, actually, people do look at this stuff and think it's fucked up. And we have to expand on that. We have to expand on that sense of shared purpose and a sense of community around progressive values, a sense of community that centers humanity and empathy for those who are, more vulnerable than we are. So this is the reason why I will never cast aside people coming out and saying good things. Now, of course, there are obviously differences. There are obviously some bad faith actors who will utilize incidents like Asmongold, when they see that it's like indefensible to a certain degree, because he was saying fuck around and find out like last week, and then boom, all of a sudden it happens again, and he's like, oh, I guess this is a bridge too far. Like that's a little bit different than the likes of Markiplier coming out and speaking out, because he's always been very progressive. He's always actually he's put his money where his mouth is. He's always been progressive. I would go so far as to say even with Charlie, like he's the normie meter, but he also has a political point of view and he doesn't shy away from saying it. So I'm happy. I'll always take that, regardless of whether or not they're not there at the right time, or even especially from my own personal perspective. You have to think about it this way. These are my colleagues. These are my peers. In some instances, these are my friends, maybe now coworkers, right? And for years and years, I've been speaking truth to justice, especially as it pertains to Palestinian existence. And while I was getting inundated with smears over and over again, demanding that the federal government actually come after me, detain me, the federal government literally did detain me. Not a single one of these guys spoke out. So if I can find it in my fucking heart to still turn around and say, let bygones be bygones, it's good that these guys are speaking out, you should be able to as well. Okay? Do you understand? That's it. You're a better person than me? Yeah, because I'm not in this for an agenda that revolves around getting a fucking quick dunk on people who I don't think are perfect. Okay? Find solidarity in those afraid as well, and stand together. Courage is something that can be hard to find for yourself, but it is in abundance when given to others that might need it. Yeah, and that's the role that I play. That's the role that I try to play at the very least, to the best of my ability. What did you think of my state? Never again? No, it's awesome. I love Minneapolis. I love Minnesota. Minnesota's beautiful. I will definitely be back, hopefully under better circumstances. But yeah, so like I said, if I can find it in my heart to be like, you shouldn't get super mad about these people only now speaking out, because it's still good that they're speaking out at all. And it's good because change never comes unless people have the courage to speak out. Change never comes unless people have the courage to speak out. And people will never get the courage to speak out until, they see others doing it. And that's precisely my point. That's my job. That's the way I see my role in American society, in modern American society, is that I try to, with my community, there's a very sizable, very large community. I try to make it so that people understand that like this is fashionable and cool if you only care about politics from the perspective of vibes, and that it is something that is appropriate. It is something that it should be lauded. It is something that you shouldn't be afraid to say or look at. The tide is shifting dramatically.
And thanks for doing my show last night.
Of course.
Yeah, but do you have a watch?
Why was he late? You said 9:15.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the show was. I didn't know that was my spot. If you look at the text, I said, what time tonight? And you said 9:15. I should have thought that was my spot. I thought that's when the show was.
I sent you the lineup too.
I'm sorry. Well, thank God I was able to follow the rest of the people there on the lineup.
I show up to a show, which is supposed to be a stand-up show.
Right.
I walk into the showroom. There's 3 white ladies with acoustic guitars.
I didn't love it either.
Right, and a man singing. They're singing some sort of Mama and Papa, you know what I mean? Hippie shit, right? Yeah. And it freaked me out.
Ireland. Oh, Ireland.
What was
No one in the audience is Irish. No one in LA is Irish.
Yeah.
And they're up there just going, oh, Ireland.
And the people in the audience are like wide-eyed. Like, what is this?
And they're like, have you ever been to Ireland? I go to Ireland.
Yeah.
And me and him, we
I was in the back. Yeah.
this ain't for us. We like a very similar type of audience.
Yeah.
And we don't really want
Exactly.
the Indigo Girls. doing it.
And my instinct was to.
But it ended up being a great show, and we love Greg.
And we love Greg, and I apologize to Greg many times already. I'm a flake, and you are too.
But that's what makes us great.
It does?
Bobby, you got to own it.
Okay.
You gotta
I'm a
own it.
flake, I'm a liar. You know what? For once in my life, let me own who I
Own
am.
it.
All right, I'm a flake, I'm a liar, I'm a
bitch, I'm a mother.
Yeah.
I'm a sinner, I'm a saint.
I'm a
and I
sinner,
will
saint.
not be ashamed.
Right.
I'm your hell, I'm your dreams.
Sometimes I masturbate with 3 fingers.
So what?
My bad.
No, you're
I get a better
Good.
grip.
That's right.
My bad.
I get it.
Yeah. What else am I? I'm a but there are some good things about me. I'm sober. I try to help people.
You're generous.
Yeah.
You're a good guy.
Just the generosity.
Yeah, like last night, we did my new joke night, and I met this kid on this movie I did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he was star of the movie, and we were talking on set. We're in Oklahoma City, and he mentioned that he was curious about doing stand-up. So I go up on my new joke night, and he showed up, went up first.
Oh man.
And he was not nervous at all.
That's a sociopath. That's a full-on. Actors, a lot of them are full-on.
Yeah. He was up there like, hey, just not shaking.
Hey, everybody, I'm a sociopath. What's going on? I watched my little sister drown and felt nothing. Anyway, I'm at one of the most famous clubs in the world with a huge comedian giving me an opportunity, and I'm not phased. I'm completely unfazed. Who could put somebody in a gas chamber? I could, because I'm a Nazi sociopath.
Right. Were you nervous the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, petrified.
I'm nervous now.
Petrified.
When I get up on your show last night, I'm like, I hope this goes well.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's Bobby's show. I want it to do well.
It was a new joke. Nothing you could have done wrong.
Yeah, Bombi would have been wrong. How did he do?
He didn't get huge laughs, but he wasn't phased by it, which was interesting.
But I had a guy who's a friend of mine who's an actor. He was at American Comedy Club with me in San Diego, and he goes, let me just get up there. He did 5 minutes, didn't get any laughs, and he didn't care. He walked off stage and went, that went well. That was kind of cool. Because, I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
They are sociopaths.
Wow.
They do not, they're not.
Yeah.
Because like what he's doing as an actor, he's going, I'm a stand-up comedian tonight.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they laugh.
Yeah.
I'm this thing now. And then tomorrow he goes, I'm a cop. You know what I mean? I'm a detective.
That makes sense.
I'm a detective.
That makes sense.
Because he's sitting in a thing and he overhears a conversation. He goes, I bet that actually the killer was, and then he's a detective.
Right.
And then the next day he'll put on a cowboy hat and he's a folksy. I know these actors.
Woody Guthrie.
Right. I know these actors, like, they LARP as like working class guys, like they'll build like a table.
Yeah.
And they're like, I like building tables. And like one of them said to me, he goes, I can't believe you live in like the Beverly Hills area. I go, yeah. He goes, I like to be like out of it. I don't like to be in it. I said, call your agent and quit.
Yeah.
My cousin works at Wendy's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
If you really want to be out of it,
go there.
go there.
Yeah.
Chapel Roan, I don't want to be famous. Go work at Wendy's.
Right.
That's what she used to do.
I hate when they say that shit.
She goes, I hate being famous. I go, then go work at Wendy's. By the way, you get a lot of privacy at Wendy's.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're not alive. That's how much privacy you get at Wendy's. It's like you don't exist. So go to Wendy's and be private. Or you're going to not do that and win Grammy.
One time I was at the Cellar. I can't say who it was, but it was a pretty famous guy. And after my set, he grabs me and goes, hey, let's go hang out somewhere, have a cigarette or whatever. And there was people out there waiting in line for the next show or whatever, right? And he was like, I don't want to see people. I don't want to see.
Hello? Hello? Hey, hold on. I got to plug my phone in. It's actively dying. Okay. What's up? Nothing. Just a bunch of hooing and hawing. What do you want now, Cat? Get away.
What is it? A lot of people are complaining on Facebook about arm development.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What is it? Apparently when they came out and shoveled, they only shoveled like half the building. So someone had to call emergency vehicles because they couldn't even get out of their door.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, they're liable.
Good, how are you? Yeah. Oh, no, you're good. Thank you. What?
I mean, they're liable.
Yeah. And then when they came out to do that house, like that apartment, they didn't do any of the rest.
No.
That was it. I mean, they didn't solve it all last night.
No, and they're not going to.
No. Apparently, what is it? Someone said that Tara is going around, like, being like a mess. Like, they've done better before.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the huge problem was this time, you know?
Yeah.
But you couldn't just, you know, one, do all the buildings, and two, you couldn't just you know, have your maintenance guys go around and salt again last night.
They might not have had the salt.
They didn't prepare.
No.
So either, you know, they're only half inept or completely inept.
Yeah. No, the owners of this place, all they see is the P&L sheet. They don't give a flying fuck about anything else, about how the place looks, like the grass in the selling areas. You know, like when you drive through, that's the only shit they give a fuck about. You go take a drive in the back, you're in the boons. Anthony, stop taking things away from your sister. You're giving me a headache already. Because I have to. I don't care if it's mom's or anything. You don't take shit away from her anymore. I'm getting tired of it today. Everything she plays with, you grab from her and then you rub it in her face. I'm literally getting dizzy from it. Okay.
But like, people around here, like, they'll shovel like the little spot like directly under your mailbox.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I guess you don't want your fucking mail.
Yeah. What's this?
So it's really fucking nothing. Like, we should have just had us, you know, do like chase the mail and then just deliver packages.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Because that's how fucking bad it is.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. What? Oh, everybody won. Oh my god, the whole world's overwhelming me. What? What does everyone want from me? Get in a line. I'm talking to mommy.
Pork chops still or no?
Yeah, we have those pork chops.
Oh, put them in the fridge or something, and then I don't know if it's as bad as I think, then maybe I'll just stop and get pizza or something.
All right.
And then we'll have the pork chops tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okie dokie?
Yep.
All right.
Or we could split a meatball parm with a side of sauce.
Just kidding.
Oh, you want a meatball farm?
I don't know. I don't care if it's something different.
Okay. I could split a meatball farm.
All right.
Alright?
With a side of sauce.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Alright.
All right. Bye.
Alright.
Like, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. I'm telling you, chat. It's going downhill in my brain. Like, I can't get an honest 3 hours of sleep. I can't just get my own little spot, my own little room. Just to focus and concentrate. But I'm sitting here. I'm like held captive for everybody. Like, I can get phone calls all day. I could have conversations with people about their nonsense. But at the end of the day, I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here. Getting really tired of life, honestly, at this point. And just leave her alone. Let her lay down. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. She was laying down. Why reactivate her? Why make it harder for me? I know you're bored, but you got to go find something else to do, Anthony. It's snow and ice outside. We can't go outside and play. So why be annoying to everything in the house? I'm exhausted. I had 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep last night for no reason. For no reason, but people can't take care of fucking their kids if I'm not awake. Like, for no fucking reason was I woken up last night. Like, I'm really getting fucking tired of this fucking 80-20 fucking bullshit. I'm a fucking grown-ass man. I can't handle my fucking life. I can't get people to help me get on disability. But I gotta sit here and fucking take care of 2 kids every fucking day of my life. Okay. Shut up. Can you lay down, please?
See people, you know what I mean? And he's right. Yeah, like no photographs. I'm uncomfortable about it. It's fame.
So weird.
And it's like, dude, that's why we do it.
Yeah, dude, it's so weird. You got to be
right. That's why we do it. You fucking idiot. You dreamt about it, jerked off.
So did he say to you, the actor, did the actor kid go, "Thank you so much for having me"?
Oh, he was so grateful. He's like, "Can I do it again?"
That's a psycho.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah. I'm gonna put him up again.
Can I do it again?
Yeah. He was good. It's weird, but here, but not all actors like that, because I don't. I've heard of this, but Meryl Streep gets super nervous. Okay, she'll vomit before the day before.
She's the greatest actress of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe her and the kid in the belly room last night have slightly different constitutions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
She's maybe like really good at the thing, and he's like a guy.
No, he's a really good actor.
Like Meryl Streep is?
Well, he's a kid.
Exactly.
Right.
He's not Meryl Streep.
But he played Nicole Kidman's son in this movie.
No one cares. Movies are done. Movies have been done. You know what I mean?
I know.
Enough.
You and I have that conversation all the time.
Can you go
Enough.
over there?
Postcards from the Edge. How great's that? Meryl Streep.
Oh yeah, killed. Yeah.
Come on, Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah.
That line.
Yeah.
You're giving me a
Being there.
panic
You ever
attack.
see that?
Great.
Who's in it?
The only thing I fight with you about is not play behind me. I don't understand what is it with
defend your
playing
life.
behind me and
We're going to talk
shaking
about it
me
at the
and
restaurant.
bouncing me
Yeah, yeah.
constantly.
All movie talk the whole night.
All movie talk.
I don't
Go ahead.
understand.
Chin Sung Sun.
Okay. Anyway, I'm into horror movies. You ever see Let the Right One In?
Yeah. Good one.
What is it?
Just wait for another fucking
Well, what
phone
happens
call.
is that you have like this weird situation. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I gotta tell you about the feeling.
It's two kids.
about
Okay.
my fucking
Two children.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so
And
feel not right.
you go, did we let the right one in? It's that kind of.
What should I do?
Where you
Right.
should go
You know
in
what
the
I mean?
fucking
Yeah, yeah,
closet
exactly,
because-
exactly.
Here's the thing:
That's
if you
what
don't,
you
then
yeah,
it's
yeah.
if the
Don't
wrong
call
one's
me
in,
with some
it's all kinds of
nonsense.
problems.
Right.
That's the way I
nonsense.
feel.
Never thought of it that way.
That's
You
the
know
Trump
exactly what I'm
immigration
doing.
issue.
You know
Let the right
exactly
one in.
where I am. I'm
So
here
that's
every
really what they've
single
been doing
day.
right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
please
Yeah,
call
yeah,
me
yeah.
so we can have a
The answer is no.
liable
Train to Busan, you
conversation
see it?
about the
Yeah.
feeling that you had in a
Zombies.
moment when
There we go.
someone was
Now
just
you know.
talking normally
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you
yeah.
in a
Been to
fucking
Busan.
Starbucks or something.
Do you
Killer.
like
Do
Do you like Korean men?
Restaurant. I like Asian men. Yeah.
You do.
I don't know the difference between Korean and another kind.
Like, I'm so sick of being liked by people and hearing your bullshit stories. Like, when God created women, he just like put this extra thing in their brain where other people have to validate a feeling they had in a moment, and they can't just tell you the story. Like, I went to this place, this guy slipped on a banana, everybody laughed. No. It has to be, I went into the store and, you know, I was feeling good about myself, and, you know, I was wearing my new red shoes and my slacks and whatever detail, and go off on the left. Well, I went to Starbucks, and this guy, he was wearing a blue shirt and sweatpants, and he looked like a bum, and he might have smelled, and he slipped on a banana. You know, like, just tell me he slipped on the fucking banana. Oh yeah, did he also pee himself? Did you look? You know, like, people are fucking wild, bro. People are fucking wild. With all the crap going on in the world, like, people have the most retarded stories. So fucking bored with everything right now. So fucking aggravated.
What do you mean?
Well,
have you dated a Korean man?
No, but I don't know the difference between, like, if you said to me a Korean man versus
a Chinese man
or a North Korean man.
Oh, there's no difference there.
Well, Bobby, I don't know that. It's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
a
It's
huge,
like East and West German.
Well, it's actually a huge
Okay.
political difference.
There is that true.
It's a massive political
Yeah.
difference.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We have an amazing show for everybody today. What do we have, Crystal?
Indeed, we do. Trump retreating somewhat, at least in Minneapolis. Big developments there that we'll break down for you. We also have Kyle Cheney. He is a political analyst for Politico who's been following all of the legal developments very closely. Some significant decisions that have been made that are pending as well. So he'll break that down for us. We've also got a little bit of Trump health speculation. Not a great moment for him in a recent interview. So we'll dig into that as well. We've got some economic news, dollar crashing, gold spiking, and then also crashing. Not sure what's going on there. A bunch of housing start cancellations. So some troubling signs there. TikTok going full censorship, although they are blaming it on a data outage. We will sort through fact and fiction on that one and see if we can figure out what is going on. And Ahmed Khan, the frontline humanitarian and philanthropist, also executive producer actually of The Voice of Hind Rajab, is going to join us to talk about the latest with regard to the Gaza Board of Peace and what the reality on the ground is there right now. So a bunch of stuff to get to this morning.
Yes, that's right. Thank you to everybody who has been supporting the show. As Ryan and I mentioned yesterday, covering very controversial things like we are right now is basically just demonetization.
Bubbies, you're fine.
Hell, we don't care because the vast
You're
majority of our revenue
fine.
comes from you, our
Relax.
subscribers. So if you can support our show, breakingpoints.com. It enables our journalism. Ryan Grimm obviously being able to just break the news of that new angle on the shooting immediately here on our channel without having to worry about monetary concerns. Also, for our premium subscribers, we're aware that there's some sort of issue on Spotify video. We are working with the Spotify team and with locals and all of that to make sure that it is resolved as soon as possible. Just wanted to make sure, though, that you're not crazy. We're figuring it out, and so we will get there. But yes, Crystal, why don't we go ahead and jump into this huge developments in Minneapolis, Trump backing down, sidelining potentially Mr. Bavino.
Yes. So Greg Bavino has been the aggressive face of the Minneapolis occupation, in particular Chicago, as well as the, what do they call him, Commander at Large of the
Commander
Border
at
Patrol.
Large. Yes.
Let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. This news broke yesterday. Bavino is being removed from that position. Now, they are not firing him entirely. He's going back to his old post in California. But Tom Homan, who is the quote-unquote border czar, is being brought in as well. No, Tom Homan is not exactly like a shrinking violet, not exactly a dove on these matters. But interestingly, within the administration, there's been a bit of a turf battle, which we've talked about before, Soccer, between CBP, Customs and Border Patrol, and ICE. Contrary to the, public perception, CBP is actually more insane than ICE is. And they were the ones who were in favor of, and Bavino in particular, these incredibly showy, aggressive, made-for-TV moments. So, for example, that raid on the Chicago apartment, including the helicopters rappelling in, just complete insanity, that was CBP. Reportedly, it's a CBP agent or multiple agents who were the ones who killed Alex Pretty. So in any case, Bavino being removed, Tom Homan coming in, Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski, according to this reporting, also their jobs are at least somewhat shaky, their position somewhat in doubt, as Trump clearly tries to clean up what has become a massive political crisis for him.
What is so striking to me about this is how how completely discordant Trump is from many of his defenders, including in his administration. So, for example, Mac, why don't we go and put the next one up on the screen? Trump describing his phone call with Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. I mean, in this one, you can just see so clearly that Trump is trying to strike a very, very different tone. He says, Governor Tim Walz called me with requests to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call. We actually seem to be on a similar wavelength. And, talking about, he says, the governor very respectfully understood that, and I will be speaking to him in the near future. He was happy with Tom Homan going to Minnesota, and so am I. He also, though, you see in Tim Walz's statement, something a bit similar. Governor Walz had a productive call with President Trump today. The governor made the case that we need impartial investigations of the Minneapolis shooting, that we need to reduce the number of federal agents. The president agreed he would talk to Department of Homeland Security about ensuring Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is able to conduct an independent investigation, as would ordinarily be in the case. The president also agreed to look into reducing the number of federal agents in Minnesota and working with the state in a more coordinated fashion on immigration enforcement regarding violent criminals. So you can see very clearly in that. And the next one, Mac, if we can, Trump's announcement of Tom Homan. This was, I actually think, the most significant one because, as you said, there's been a bit turf war inside of the administration between Kristi Noem, Corey Lewandowski, and Tom Homan. So as you said, Tom Homan is not some shrinking violet, but fundamentally, and Ryan even talked about this yesterday when he noted Tom Homan's response to the Renee Good shooting. He didn't immediately come out and say anything. He's like, look, we need to wait for a process. And it's because at the end of the day, he's a cop. This is somebody who worked under the Obama administration, for example. And yes, he definitely has strongly held political views, but is also somebody who at least reportedly has wanted to take a very different tactic whenever it comes to deportation, and specifically trying to focus on criminals and people with violent history, existing detainers, which he has been arguing with Lewandowski and Kristi Noem is not only more efficient, but does not invite the same public backlash. So at the very least, you can say that this is a massive change of tactic, because not only does Bavino lose his job, he's going back to San Diego reportedly, but many of the agents who were with him have been ordered out of the state of Minnesota. They even locked Bavino out of his own Twitter account. He's obviously been
It's like the
leaking.
death penalty in this administration.
Yes, yeah, that's right. The death penalty in his administration. But, Bavino is leaking to these like right-wing journalists, people like Nick Sorter and others. I mean, he's clearly out of control. And he not only that, though, he completely lost any credibility he had in the immediate aftermath with that press conference that we talked about yesterday. I mean, he straight up lied. He talked about brandishing and then adopted this new like liberal gun control language about, what did he say? He wanted to massacre law enforcement or, very clear. It's just bullshit. And so, look, Trump, he has many things. He understands television at the very least. And so watching this, everyone from Fox News to MSNBC, I can't find a single national personality on cable television where Trump is liable to be watching that is in any way supportive of the way that Bavino and Kirsti Noem have handled this entire situation.
Fox News just mostly avoided talking about it and instead went straight to like the rioters. But, there was some significant right-wing dissent this time. Different than after Renee Good was killed, where there was a real circling of the wagons. And so, in terms of the rhetoric, the PR push after Alex Purdy was shot, you had Bavino, you had Kristi Noem, and you had Stephen Miller, and you had, by the way, J.D. Vance, who were all sounding the same notes. This is a domestic terrorist. This was a would-be assassin. He was planning a massacre. They went as hard in the paint on this one as they did with Renee Good because they thought, and understandably so, that is what Trump would want to see and that is what he would reward. But even if you go back to the Renee Good killing, look, I mean, just to be clear, this is not to absolve Trump of anything. This is his administration. Just like a little bit over a week ago, he was tweeting how there's going to be retribution paid to Minneapolis, etc. But even with the Renee Good killing, Trump went hard in the paint at first, and then the New York Times actually showed him the video, and he had clearly not seen it yet. And he moderated his rhetorical stance. So here you have, all of these crazy lackeys who go same, just as hard in the paint. He's a domestic terrorist. He was asking for it. He's a would-be assassin. He was planning maximum damage. He was planning a massacre. Trump sees the video and critically, I think, sees the backlash from some Republicans because he doesn't really care what liberals think. From some Republicans who are saying, I don't know about this one, realizes this has gotten out of control and starts to try to at least throw someone under the bus and make it look like he is tactically adjusting. Now, we will see whether there's a real tactical adjustment on the ground or whether it is just lip service and PR. But one other thing that you and I both noted from some of the reporting, there was apparently, I think New York Times had this, there was apparently a big meeting with Kristi Noem, Corey Lewandowski that Noem asked for. Susie Wiles was there. Other top aides were there. You know who was not there was Stephen Miller. And this is as much his baby as anything else. So the fact that he was iced out of that conversation, I guess no pun intended, I think is also pretty significant. Stephen Miller is a deeply ideological figure. He truly, I think, sees himself waging this sort of ethno-nationalist war. Now, Trump is happy to do that as it serves him politically, but he is not as ideologically a zealot as Stephen Miller is on this. And he has even, teased Stephen Miller about how obsessed he is with like the ethnic characteristics of the country, etc. So that was noteworthy to me as well, that perhaps Stephen Miller is becoming somewhat isolated. Now, do I think that he's going to be on the outs? Do I think he's going to lose his? No, because he's been such a loyal soldier for Trump, because he's involved in so many facets of this administration that they actually call him the prime minister, including he's deeply involved in a bunch of these foreign policy decisions, which also have been terrible. So I don't think he's going to lose his job, but perhaps he's lost a little bit of standing with regard to Trump since he has been the one aggressively pushing this direction.
Trump, remember, loyalty for him only works one way. And so he may not sideline you, but if you start to create problems for him, you're done. And he also, Trump, is non-ideological in many ways in that he will literally contradict himself on it immediately if he wants to. So, for example, last week he was talking about how Tim Walz and Jacob Frey are criminals. Look, A3, let's put this one up here on the screen. He says, I just had a very good telephone conversation with Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis. Lots of progress is being made. Tom Homan will be meeting with him tomorrow to continue the discussion. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. I mean, it is just completely different than we had seen. But then finally, Crystal, what was really the most remarkable to me, and this is the ultimate like shivving, is Caroline Levitt and the way that she handled the Bovino question by basically saying, look, he's a great guy, but Mr. Homan's going to be running point. I think if we could cue that SOT up just so people can watch, like this is what it really looks like in Washington terms, to be not only sidelined, but to be politely like stabbed in the front in many ways.
Is Gregory Bovino also going to remain in Minnesota overseeing these ICE operations?
Mr. Bovino is a wonderful man, and he's a great professional. He is going to very much continue to lead Customs and Border Patrol throughout and across the country. Mr. Homan will be the main point of contact on the ground in Minneapolis.
And that was before we got the official news that he had actually been demoted. Now, Tricia McLaughlin came out and posted something that was kind of confusing, saying, no, he's not being demoted, et cetera. But I mean, the bottom line is he's being pulled from Minneapolis and Homan is being sent in. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know. And then there's one more, I think, moment from Caroline Levitt that's worth playing here, where she gets asked about Noam's rhetoric that this act was an act of domestic terrorism from Alex Priddy. And she says, well, I haven't heard the president characterize him that way. So refusing to sort of back up that rhetoric, which was also very noteworthy. And again, this was all before we got all of the news about, about Bovino being demoted, et cetera. Let's take a listen to that.
Secretary Noem said Alex Priddy committed an act of domestic terrorism. Stephen Miller labeled Priddy a domestic terrorist. Does the president agree with them?
Look, as I've said, I have not heard the president characterize Mr. Priddy in that way. However, I have heard the president say he wants to let the facts in the investigation lead itself.
Was he alarmed to hear his top officials referring to him in that way, rushing to that judgment?
Danny, go ahead.
There you go. Refused to back up that characterization of Alex Priddy. Very different approach than Noam and Lewandowski. And, Noam and Lewandowski, by the way, who are heavily rumored to have an affair
Allegedly,
and be allegedly,
It's
as
been
heavily
reported.
rumored.
Can't confirm. Yeah.
We can't personally confirm, but reporters have confirmed it. I mean, this has been reported out. In any case, they're in league together. And even outside of this completely insane and extremely dangerous approach, which has been utterly rejected by the American people across the board. They've also operated in a deeply corrupt manner. Now, that is nothing unusual in this administration. In fact, Tom Homan, what was his whole scandal? He took like a bag of cash to promise some contracts to some company, whatever. They're all deeply corrupt, but there has been an incredible amount of self-dealing there as well. Not to mention, Noam loves being in front of the camera, and that works for Trump until it doesn't. So I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical of the reporting that they may actually lose their jobs. I'm curious what you think about that, Sagar, but certainly the fact that they had this long meeting, that they are now being, in effect, overruled and Tom Homan put in instead certainly reflects a changing of power positions within the administration.
Yeah, I don't think they'll lose their jobs. What I've been told is that one of the things Trump hated the most about his first term was all the cycling through various cabinet officials. And he said it causes too much chaos. And so he's extremely... Remember, even the Mike Waltz situation. Mike Waltz, literally an idiot, and still was able to hang on his job for 2 months. And even then, it's not like he was fired. He was just, semi-demoted to UN ambassador, kind of the way that this went with Greg Bovino. I do not think that she will lose her job, but that's not the same thing as losing power in the administration. And that's basically what has happened here.
Yeah,
so
she could turn into Tulsi Gabbard, where it's like, well, you
right.
still got your job.
Yeah, you technically have a job, but you don't do anything anymore. And by the way, to your point, one of the things that apparently Homan, got some heat over is he was like, hey, Kirsten Noem, why are you spending $250 million on an ad campaign for DHS, which heavily features yourself? I'm sure you have seen that as well. I think I was watching
riding
Fox
around
News
on horses and
at
stuff.
some point.
I mean, yeah.
Right. I was watching Fox News at some point, and I saw this for work, not for pleasure. I see this thing come up of DHS where it was Kirsten Noem encouraging self-deportation. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this is just an ad for yourself, because what illegal immigrant is watching Fox News. You know, I was like, who exactly is this intended to? And I was like, oh,
Well,
but
and
it is intended
those
to a bunch
contracts
of these
went-
boomers.
Yes, in those contracts, not only are they very self-serving in terms
Right.
of, you know, she gets to play dress up and ride around on a horse, which is something she loves to do, they also went to a connected entity, most of that money, to connected consulting firm. And that's
Yes.
where the corruption, one of the corruption scandals, comes in as well. You know, someone floated this too, and listen, Trump is so obsessed with optics. It's really the only thing that he, like,
themselves
fully
with
cares
tax
about and
money.
understands. Greg Vivino, like, out there cosplaying like some SS warrior, you know, with his stupid coat and marching around, little short guy. And then he's got his glasses that make him look like a, you know, middle-aged lesbian, and gets up there in the press conference. I mean, I'm sorry, Trump cares about this shit.
He
And
should,
so,
yeah.
like, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he just didn't like the look of this guy. Didn't like his vibe and the way he handled the press and
It's
the
not
way
just-
he
yeah.
presented. You know, I mean,
It's
that's
not just his
something
look.
that Trump would really care about, whether that's, you know, however you feel
Right.
about that.
But the thing is, it's not just his look. He's an idiot. Like he's and not even idiot. He's a liar. And it's like not only a liar, but you know, took things to such an insane degree immediately afterwards that you're like, whoa, like this, the credibility of this is shot beyond shot, especially
Yeah.
whenever it comes to the Alex Preddy shooting. And that's what I think that he just cannot stomach is, you know, for Trump, you know, I'm not even really sure he doesn't care about the liberal stuff, because it's not just that he doesn't politically care, but there's a difference in the rhetoric and in the way that you talk. And fundamentally, I do think like this one, there's no defense. Zero. They killed this guy after they took his gun away, and then they lied about it. And now their only defense is that they're like, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't have a gun on your person. Trump is not a moron. Like, at the very least, he can understand, you know, look, I'm sure the NRA, the GOA, the Gun Owners of America, all those other people, he's going to be aware of that because they're also all over and they should be. They're the people out there like, hey, oh, hold on a second. They're like, we're
Yeah, can you lower that? Why is her tablet so loud? No, it's your tablet. Can you lower that? Why do I gotta ask you 6 times to lower a tablet? You're not gonna sit here and do this every single day. Go to the bedroom. Go to your playroom. It's either you go to your playroom or I'm going to move all your stuff out and I'm going to put my office in there where it should be. This kid's got a whole half of the house, an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment. He's got a whole room to himself. Whole room.
The fuck? Hello. This kid's got a whole room he can go in, but he has to snipe my streams with his copyrighted stuff. What the hell was that? What was that? That was like an earthquake or something. This is everything on low.
Choose your words, brother.
The tracks stop here.
And we're not alone.
Okay. So you got to pay attention to the frames.
They should not be this close.
We should
only a
check on the
few- it's only
protection,
a
Steve. There's a tree up ahead,
5%
yeah?
gain. No, not even.
Well,
You were right. The stave is broken.
This is all on low
explains our
settings. too.
trespassers. What happened here? Brother, back there. A dead animal. A struggle?
We must find Atreus.
The 1%
Aye.
lows are.
Between the savage beasts and marauding raiders, he may have sought shelter. Follow the trail. We'll find him. Ah.
Okay, let me see this now. Because I'm getting like 240 frames in this. This, the averages 50, 40s. Look at the RAM usage. Seeing the amount of power, it's using more watts on the lower side. Amps are up on this side.
The more the merrier. Innocence of the deep.
Okay, reset high. He's playing at 1440p. Off. Upscaling off. Ray tracing high. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Blue off.
You're live in the financial district following the
Yuck. It looks like
Hey,
shit.
Spider-Man! Look who it is! What? Where am I? Spider-Man! Jonah, my sunshine! You okay? Help! I've been abducted! What? No! I'm helping you, man! Someone get a photo with this! Mass criminals kidnap beloved newsman! Some things never change. Just be nice to the doctors. Oh, they kidnapped me! I did not consent! Oh. Menaces. I'm surrounded by menaces! But J. Jonah Jameson is not going anywhere, you hear me? I'm not going anywhere! Wait, where am I going?
Why is it not even getting 60 frames? It's fucking wacky. Gross. You didn't catch me play that. What game is this? This is, Cyberpunk? Cyberpunk is getting, like, yeah, look. This with the 7800 X3D. kind of gross, to be honest.
In 2025 we got new GPUs like the RTX 50 series from Nvidia and the
Yep.
RX 9000 series from AMD, and we
Yep.
had some very awesome products in terms of CPUs and APUs from AMD as well. But
Yep.
now we're in 2026 and things are completely messed up with the current
Motherfucker.
Ramageddon, with AI being one of the main reasons. But there are
Ramageddon.
more. And since hardware got so expensive,
My
I believe it is a
RAM
really
costs
good time
more
for
than a
companies to bring
PS5
something
Pro.
really interesting on the software
Kinda
side.
sick.
And this leads me to my main
Kinda
question.
wacky.
What is AMD doing? We know that Nvidia usually mistreats the consumer or the, well, the people that buy their cards, of course, in general, because they're the big dog, and they're usually the ones to bring newer tech in first place. So that's why they get away with it. But AMD's Radeon division. In this video, I'm going to talk about AMD's decision of doing the FSR4 gatekeeping, FSR Redstone availability, DLSS 4.5, and some more. Well, right after today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Eneba, where you can get PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo games, and the list goes on. You can even search directly for super cheap games that are still awesome, like Detroit Become Human, and if you're into the thrill of the adventure, you can get random Steam keys that might get you other games. Use movement when it comes to recent software development, especially gaming-wise, and sometimes even third. For example, with Intel delivering XeSS and XeSS frame generation machine learning before AMD did. Yeah. Now that's fine to a certain extent. You just need to know who's your market and who'll buy your GPUs. But since AMD released the RX 9000 series in the beginning of March, they've been stagnating a lot. We did have FSR4 upscaling that was a major uplift in terms of quality when compared to FSR 3.1, then we had the announcement of FSR Redstone, and then radio silence till November, where we got FSR Ray regeneration in one game, taking into consideration Nvidia has this tech for years, and by December, which was the deadline AMD settled themselves for Redstone, we got machine learning frame generation. That was not as anticipated as the other features. And this means that AMD failed to release
Yeah,
FSR
but my
Redstone
question is,
entirely
do I
by their
need
own
that?
dates. And it
Let's
is
open up Call
almost
of
the
Duty
end of
again. Let's see
January,
if Call
and
of
we still
Duty
don't
is,
really have any news from
playing
Radiant's
nice.
caching that it was supposed to be released with Warhammer 40,000 Dark
Sometimes
Tide,
it says I need
and
this
no
fucking
news
thing, and
whatsoever,
sometimes it doesn't.
for more games with
And I
Ray
don't get it.
regeneration. Not even mentioning that
I
they
don't get it.
indirectly call their older GPUs
I've
trash
never
by
had to-
virtually gatekeeping.
Like with Call of Duty, I've never had to change my BIOS settings for a game ever. I think it's stupid. I think it's retarded. I mean, yeah, it's for anti-cheat or whatever, but it don't work. It don't work, I'll tell you that right now. I mean, you could count the number of pro players on console on one hand. Oh, and if they are playing on console, it's either A, they're cheating, right? Using like the Chrono Zen or that other one, right? Because I could do that too. I could stream right from my fucking console if I want to. Or pump it through my PC. It's not that hard. But it doesn't look as good.
FSR4 from them. While we know that we could have it emulated via FP16, like we saw on Linux, made in a couple of months by a couple of dudes. Or with the Int 8 version of FSR4 that was released by mistake by AMD themselves. Meaning that it was and is absolutely possible to get at least a lower quality version of FSR4 running on the older GPUs. And even then, we got 0 from AMD. 0. Which to me was and still is one of the dumbest takes ever from AMD. And while you might say, well, but it isn't that bad, isn't it? Well, if you think about it, it actually is, considering even Nvidia has been giving us the DLSS Super Resolution and Ray Reconstruction, even for older cards such as the RTX 2000 series.
This is like
Common sense.
And they always bring that wow feeling when it comes to new features, like the new G-Sync Pulsar. I tested that myself 2 years ago when I went to Gamescom Germany, and it was already very good by then and a big game changer in some scenarios. While AMD always follows, and even when they do, they always take a huge amount of time when it comes to game implementation, like we see with Radeon's caching and ray regeneration. And this actually saddens me because AMD Radeon team has a huge potential, but I just feel that they aren't how should I put it? I just feel that they aren't able to work the way they want to. And to be fair, there are things that AMD did first, like bringing resizable bar to GPUs, or bringing frame generation to the Adrenaline software with AFMF, or even the AMD chat, or the AI bundle that was just released with the AMD software. But it seems that every time that they bring something new, interesting and fresh, they kind of go into hibernation.
To enable TPM 2.0 and secure boot. Restart your computer, spam the delete key on your keyboard to get to the BIOS. Once we get into the BIOS, click on advanced mode, click on advanced again, click on PCH FW configuration. Where it says PTT, it could also say Intel Platform Trust Technology, which is the same thing, to make sure it's on enabled. On AMD, you're gonna find AMD FTPM configuration, where it says firmware TPM switch, enable. Go over to the boot section and we're going to click on C.
What's up? I'm Troubleshoot. In the super quick guide, I'll show you how to enable UEFI and secure boot on a tough gaming motherboard. We'll start off by restarting your system, and you'll need to use the delete or F2 keys to enter UEFI BIOS settings. Your key may be different, but you'll see it on the Tough Gaming logo screen while your system's starting up. Then you'll use F7 to enter the advanced mode, and then at the very top, head across to the boot tab. Here, under CSM Compatibility Support Module, you'll find Launch CSM. Change this from enabled to disabled to turn on UEFI mode. Then you can hit escape, backspace, or click back and head into the secure boot option right below this one. Then make sure your OS type is set to Windows UEFI mode instead of other OS. This is secure boot enabled. If it says other OS, secure boot is disabled. Then you can head back, head across to the exit tab at the very top, and choose save changes and reset to save the changes and restart your computer. If for some reason you can't reach the Windows login page and your system just doesn't boot, head back into your BIOS and undo these two changes. Then in the description down below, you'll find a quick MBR to GPT guide, which is most likely the cause of your issues. An older partition table for your drive where you've installed Windows. You can convert from one to the other, fixing your issue without any data loss. I'll either see you there or again in the future. Thank you for watching. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.
Alright, I'll pause this, right? Open up my phone so I can watch the video while I do it, because I'm a fucking retard. I'm a fucking retard. Da, 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 there it is. Alright. Alright, we're gonna close it at. Exit. Exit that, exit that, exit, exit, exit. Yes, always exit your games. No X out. Exit. Exit your games, okay? We're going to stop.